First Korean horror stories. In the heart of a remote village in South Korea, a chilling legend whispered through the generations, the tale of the Haeyoung doll. A cursed relic, this doll was said to carry a sinister spirit, a vengeful virgin ghost who sought to bring misfortune to those who possessed it. Its unsettling history spanned back centuries, passed down from family to family, leaving a trail of tragedy in its wake. The Haeyoung doll was a delicate creation, its porcelain face frozen in an expression of innocence, its eyes dark and haunting. Its form was slender, its body adorned in traditional hanbok garments that spoke of another era. But beneath its delicate appearance lay a malevolent force that could not be ignored. The origin of the doll could be traced back to the ill-fated love between Yoon Ji-yoon and Park Tae-joon, two young souls whose lives had been intertwined in both love and tragedy. Their love story was one of passion and defiance, a forbidden romance that was destined to end in heartbreak. Ji-yoon was the daughter of a wealthy village elder, while Tae-joon was a humble potter whose hands could shape clay into art. Their love bloomed amidst the lush fields and vibrant flowers, hidden from the prying eyes of their disapproving families. But as their love deepened, the village's whispers grew louder, and their secret became impossible to conceal. When Ji-yoon's father learned of their love, he was consumed by anger and pride. He forbade his daughter from seeing Tae-joon, arranging a marriage to a man of wealth and status. Ji-yoon, desperate to escape her fate, turned to the village shaman for help, seeking a way to bind her love to Tae-joon beyond the confines of life. The shaman, moved by Ji-yoon's plight, crafted a doll, a vessel for Ji-yoon's spirit to linger in, a token of her eternal devotion. The Haeyoung doll was born from their desperate love, and Ji-yoon's spirit was bound to it, cursed by the sorrow and anger that had consumed her in life. As the years passed, the Haeyoung doll moved through time like a silent specter. With each new owner, misfortune followed. Crops failed, families suffered, and tragedy seemed to strike at every turn. The villagers soon learned to fear the doll, avoiding it as if it were the embodiment of death itself. Generations came and went, and the Haeyoung doll remained unchanged, a constant reminder of a love thwarted and a curse that could not be undone. It was said that the doll's eyes could pierce through one's soul, its presence evoking a sense of unease that could not be shaken. One fateful evening, a young woman named Min-ji found herself in possession of the Haeyoung doll. Unaware of its history, she welcomed it into her home, enchanted by its delicate beauty. As days turned to weeks, Min-ji's life took a dark turn. Her once thriving garden withered, her family faced illness, and a sense of dread settled over her household. Min-ji refused to believe in the doll's curse, attributing the misfortune to mere coincidence. But as the darkness grew, her desperation led her to seek answers. She delved into the village's history, uncovering the story of Ji-yoon and Tae-joon, the forbidden love that had birthed the cursed doll. Driven by a need to break the cycle of misfortune, Min-ji embarked on a perilous journey to find the shaman's tomb, the resting place of the one who had crafted the doll. Guided by ancestral whispers, she ventured deep into the forest, where she discovered a moss-covered grave, the shaman's name etched onto a weathered stone. With trembling hands, Min-ji lit incense and bowed before the shaman's resting place. She beseeched the spirit for guidance, for a way to break the curse that had plagued her family. And in the stillness of the forest, she heard a whisper, a fragile, ethereal voice that echoed with the weight of centuries. The spirit of the shaman revealed the truth: only an act of sacrificial love could break the curse. A descendant of Ji-yoon and Tae-joon must willingly embrace the doll, allowing the vengeful spirit to find peace at long last. Min-ji understood the gravity of her task, her heart heavy with the knowledge that she could be the one to end the cycle of suffering. Returning home, Min-ji gazed into the doll's haunting eyes, her own eyes filled with determination. With a deep breath, she clasped the doll to her chest, whispering a heartfelt pledge. The air seemed to still, and for a moment, the doll's features softened, its eyes losing their malevolent gleam. In the days that followed, a transformation swept through the village. Crops flourished, families healed, and the weight of the curse began to lift. The Haeyoung doll, once a harbinger of doom, became a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of sacrificial love. The villagers came to regard Minji with a mixture of awe and gratitude, her courage forever etched in their collective memory. The doll, its once haunting presence now softened, found a place of honor in the village shrine, a reminder of the love and sacrifice that had broken its curse. And as the generations continued to pass, the legend of the Haeyoung doll persisted, its story a reminder that even in the darkest of times, love had the power to conquer even the most malevolent of curses. Second Korean horror stories. Before then, let's take 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe. Thanks for subscribing. The second Korean horror stories. In the heart of a secluded village nestled among the mist-covered mountains of South Korea, a haunting tale whispered through generations, the legend of the Veiled Bride. A tragic story of love and betrayal, it was a tale that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to speak its name. The story spoke of a love torn apart by cruelty, and a spirit that returned from the beyond, veiled in darkness, seeking revenge. In a time long past, in the days when the village was a tapestry of tradition and honor, lived a young maiden named Ji-yoon. She possessed a rare beauty that rivaled the blooming cherry blossoms in spring, and her laughter was a melody that echoed through the hills. Her heart belonged to Min-joon, a humble fisherman whose quiet strength and gentle soul had captured her affections. As their love blossomed, the villagers looked upon them with approval. Their union seemed destined to bring prosperity to the village, a union that could strengthen bonds and forge alliances. But amidst the joy, there was one who harbored envy, a jealous suitor named Ji-hoon, a man driven by pride and desire. Ji-hoon had long set his sights on Ji-yoon, his obsession with her beauty morphing into a dangerous infatuation. He couldn't bear the thought of her happiness belonging to another, and as the wedding day approached, his heart twisted with a darkness that knew no bounds. On the eve of Ji-yoon and Min-joon's wedding, a shadow fell over the village, casting an ominous omen. As Ji-yoon donned her bridal attire, a gown of flowing silk and embroidered dreams, Ji-hoon approached her with a sinister proposal. In his hand, he held a venomous lie, a false letter claiming that Min-joon had betrayed her, his heart now belonging to another. Tears fell from Ji-yoon's eyes as the words sliced through her heart. She was consumed by grief, unable to bear the weight of the deception. Consumed by despair, she flung herself from the cliffs that overlooked the tempestuous sea, her cries lost in the crashing waves. The villagers wept for Ji-yoon, the tragedy etched into their souls. Her wedding gown remained untouched, a testament to love's cruel fate. But what none could foresee was the haunting that would follow, the return of Ji-yoon's spirit, veiled by darkness, fueled by vengeance. On the eve of what should have been her wedding night, Ji-yoon's ghost emerged from the shadows. Her form was ethereal, her beauty a haunting echo of the vibrant life she had once known. But it was her veil that held the power to chill the heart. The veil was a shroud of mystery, concealing her face in a cloak of darkness, a visage that no living soul had seen. Ji-yoon's presence brought a bitter cold to the air, and her footsteps echoed like whispers in the night. She appeared to those who had wronged her, Ji-hoon, the jealous suitor, and even Min-joon, the beloved she had believed had betrayed her. With eyes that glowed like dying embers, she sought vengeance against those who had played a part in her tragic end. Ji-hoon was the first to feel her wrath. He awoke to find her spectral form looming over him, the weight of her gaze like an anchor that dragged him into the abyss. Her voice, a mournful whisper, promised the retribution he so rightly deserved. From that moment on, Ji-hoon's life was plagued by misfortune, crops withered, sickness spread, and his once thriving existence crumbled like ash in the wind. Min-joon, too, was visited by Ji-yoon's spirit, her veil casting an eerie shadow over their shared memories. Her voice, a blend of sorrow and anger, questioned his loyalty, her haunting presence driving a wedge between him and the life he had known. Despite his protests of innocence, he could not escape the ghostly grasp that tightened around his heart. As the village watched in helpless horror, the curse of the Veiled Bride spread like wildfire, tainting the once idyllic community. Desperation grew, and the villagers sought solace in prayers and offerings, their pleas to the gods falling on deaf ears. With every passing night, Ji-yoon's ghost grew stronger, her anger intensifying like a storm that refused to be quelled. It was a young woman named Eun-soo, a descendant of the village's wise woman, who held the key to breaking the curse. Drawn to the ancient tales, she delved into the village's history, piecing together the fragments of Ji-yoon's tragic tale. Armed with knowledge and a heart unburdened by the past, Eun-soo ventured into the night, guided by ancestral whispers that urged her toward the cliff's edge. There, in the moonlit darkness, she found Ji-yoon's spirit, her veiled form shimmering like moonlight on water. Eun-soo's voice, gentle and soothing, carried the truth, a truth that shattered the veil of vengeance and unveiled the depths of Ji-yoon's pain. She spoke of the love between Ji-yoon and Min-joon, a love that had been stolen by deceit. Tears streamed down Ji-yoon's spectral face as Eun-soo's words echoed in the stillness. The truth had set her free, the veil that had concealed her anger and despair now lifted, revealing the haunting beauty of her heart. And with that release came a peace that radiated like a warm embrace. As dawn broke over the horizon, Ji-yoon's spirit began to fade, her presence growing faint like a whisper carried away by the wind. The curse that had bound her to the mortal realm was broken, its grip on the village's heart finally released. The once dreaded veiled bride had found her peace, her spirit guided by Eun-soo's compassion. The legend of the veiled bride lived on, a cautionary tale of love and vengeance that haunted the village's memory. And amidst the whispers of the wind and the moonlight's gentle glow, the spirit of Ji-yoon found solace, her veiled visage now a symbol of forgiveness and redemption. A story that would be shared for generations to come. Third Korean horror stories. In the quiet village of Sicheon, nestled at the foot of mist-covered mountains, there was a tale whispered among the villagers. It was a tale of beauty, mystery, and a perfume that could weave dreams of eternal love. The villagers spoke of the Yunmi perfume, a rare fragrance that was said to possess an otherworldly allure, a scent that captured the hearts of those who caught its delicate aroma. Yunmi was a young maiden of ethereal beauty who had lived centuries ago. Her laughter was like the tinkling of wind chimes, and her presence brought warmth to even the coldest hearts. She had lived her life in the village, untouched by time, a figure of fascination for all who laid eyes upon her. But Yumi's heart held a secret pain, a love that had never been fulfilled. She had fallen deeply for a young man named Junho, a village blacksmith whose strong hands held the power to shape both metal and hearts. Their love blossomed, but the gods had other plans. Junho was tragically taken from her, his life cut short by a fever that swept through the village. Grief consumed Yunmi. In her sorrow, she turned to the village's wise woman, Hae-jin, for guidance. Hae-jin was known for her connection to the spirit world, a realm Yunmi hoped to reach to reunite with her lost love. With ancient herbs and mystical incantations, Hae-jin crafted a potion that would allow Yunmi's spirit to linger in the mortal realm. Yumi's spirit became tethered to a perfume that Hae-jin created, infusing it with the essence of love and longing. The scent was intoxicating, its allure irresistible. Yumi believed that if she could only share this fragrance with others, she could find a way to be with Junho once more. But the price of eternal love was steep, a price that Yumi was willing to pay, regardless of the consequences. The perfume came with a curse, one that bound the souls of those who fell under its spell to a fate far worse than death. Yumi's spirit would feed on the life force of those who succumbed to the fragrance, leaving them as empty vessels, consumed by their longing for an unattainable love. As time passed, the legend of the Yumi perfume spread beyond the village, capturing the attention of travelers and seekers of the supernatural. Those who heard the tale were drawn to Sicheon like moths to a flame, compelled by the promise of eternal love. They followed the scent that hung in the air, their hearts racing with anticipation. One such traveler was Sujin, a young woman whose heart had been shattered by a love lost. Desperate to feel the warmth of affection once again, she embarked on a journey to Sicheon, drawn by the whispers of the Yunmi perfume. She arrived in the village on a moonlit night, the air thick with the fragrance that beckoned to her. Guided by the scent, Sujin ventured deeper into the village until she reached a dilapidated hut. Inside, the air was heavy with the perfume's sweet aroma. Before her, on an ornate pedestal, sat a bottle of shimmering liquid, an iridescent reminder of love's allure. Unable to resist, Sujin uncorked the bottle, and the fragrance enveloped her senses. The perfume danced on her skin like a lover's caress, igniting a fire within her heart. She felt the presence of Yunmi's spirit, a gentle whisper that promised eternal love, a love that would transcend even the boundaries of death. As the perfume's embrace tightened, Sujin's life force began to wane. Her reflection in the mirror grew paler, her once bright eyes now empty and vacant. Yunmi's spirit embraced her, an ethereal connection that transcended the mortal realm. As dawn approached, the villagers gathered outside the hut, knowing what fate awaited those who fell prey to the perfume's spell. But when they entered, all they found was an empty bottle and a solitary mirror reflecting an empty room. Sujin was gone, her soul consumed by the unquenchable hunger of a love that could never be. And Yunmi's laughter echoed through the village, a haunting reminder of the cost of eternal love, a cost too great for any mortal to bear. The legend of the Yunmi perfume continued to lure wanderers to Sichin, their footsteps forever marked by the tantalizing scent that led them astray. And as the perfume's allure remained unchanged, Yunmi's spirit lingered, forever bound to the fragrance that had once promised a love that could never die. Let us know in the comment section which among the 3 Korean horror stories you enjoyed. Please subscribe to more Korean horror stories. Also check the description to see our hand-picked horror stories for you to watch. See you in the other Korean horror stories.